Hey yo guys, what's good, what's happening, and what's going on? Today I'm actually filming from the GoPro. We do have audio, right? Yeah, I think we have audio. Reason why I'm filming from the GoPro and not the DJI is because I want to go and test a prototype bait and to keep it within fishing regulations. Like right now, the things that are open won't eat what I'm about to throw. It's this bait right here that I hand painted. I'm curious to see the action on this, so I figured we can keep it legal. If a bass eats this, he's gonna spit it right away because there's no freaking hooks. So we're gonna head down to Chart Lake, Armstrong Park, and we're gonna sail this sumbitch out. But I gotta get into the garage and grab a rod, and the Trans Am's in there. So this is gonna be interesting. This also gives me a chance to test out my new neck mount to see how well this thing works. We're doing this kind of fishing video. See if the camera bobs around or the audio's kind of muffled or whatever. It's not exactly warm out today, but it's not exactly cold either. It's about 11 degrees Celsius. But yeah, I really want to see how well the action is on this thing here after putting that work into it. You know, the minimal work that I did. Now the problem is I'd like a bait caster for this, but all the bait casters are sitting underneath or above the car, except for a couple shitty ones. I guess I could grab the Temu Special. Let's grab the Temu Special. We'll bring that one down. Why not? I never throw this one. There's nothing attached to it either, so that works out fine. We'll grab the Temu Special. We'll tie off, throw it in the back of the truck, head on down, and go from there. Pretty sure I've only ever used this rod once. The Weimer Bore. The Weimer Bore 3-piece sensitive grip. Oh yeah. With this weird ass friggin' reel with a button on it to stop the spool. Let's we'll go test out this prototype. I gotta unlock my my truck topper here. I'll just reel this right up to the top. She's kind of jammed. Got a lot of shit back here. We'll test this out, and then after we're gonna try something. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a blue case in there that Dad gave me. I talked about it on a previous video, I think. I can't remember now. And I don't know what that case was from, but it's got a hole in it. And after using super glue and baking soda to fix my belt, I thought, you know what would be cool? Let's try and use super glue and baking soda and see if we can patch that hole. I don't have my wallet or anything on me. I kind of need that in case the M&R does show up. Even though I'm fishing with safe bait, they still would want to see a fishing license. Now, this is a revision of a prototype that I made a couple years ago. And went down to Armstrong to throw it. And instead of doing what a crankbait should do, and, you know, crank, it decided to just do this weird tornado pattern. So talked to a few experienced bait makers about it, showed them the prototype, and they told me that my tie-off point was too high, or too low, sorry. It was too close to the lip, not the right angle. So instead of the lip catching water, it was deflecting the water, causing it to spiral out of control. So we're trying a different tie-off point. We'll see if that works. Hopefully it does. It'd be nice to have this bait working so I can start printing them off as blanks for people who can actually paint to paint. Or, you know, maybe I can practice painting, because you don't get better unless you do it more often, right? You don't learn techniques unless you actually try. So that could be the situation as well. So we'll head down to the lake. I never have any luck catching anything off this dock, so that's why I figured this is probably the safest testing point. It'd be nice if I had like a testing tank at home, like a tub or something, but then I'd have to do something with it in the winter, like empty it. So, and a lot of you are probably saying, Adam, why make your own baits? Just go to the store and buy them like everybody else. You know what? Until you've made your own bait, like you've tried something, and then you go out and you start catching fish on it, the feeling of catching a fish on something you produced versus something a major corporation can produce, like Rapala or whatever, that feeling is just an amazing feeling. Like catching fish on baits I made with Tim Hortons coffee. That was an amazing feeling. So you gotta, like, when you get into a hobby, guys, I know you watch me, I get into a hobby and I get all in to win. I want every aspect of it. It was like that with fishing. It's like that with the martial arts. I want to know it all. I want it right now. Now I want my brain flooded with as much information as I can possibly get my hands on to do what I need to do. And that's how it was with fishing. Like my first year of fishing, I bought a bait caster. Sucked at it. Figured it out after a while, learned how to bait cast, and then now I'm bait casting all the time. Okay, the light's about to turn. So yeah, it's one of those things where even if you're bad at it, just keep at it until you're good at it. So same with painting, same with lure designing, same with whatever. Like, you're gonna start off, you're gonna be horrible, and doesn't mean that you failed. You only fail when you quit doing it because you can't figure it out. If you don't take the time to problem solve and figure it out, then yeah, accept failure, and that's the way it is. I don't play that game. So we'll pop down here to the lake. Probably could have rode my bike down, but I can't get my bike out of the shed, and the new bike doesn't really have anywhere to put a rod. I guess I'd have to take the fat bike because it's got the saddlebags. All right, well, we'll see you at the lake. Got a couple trucks here with boat trailers. I'm guessing people got their boats out for testing. Like I said, fishing season opens in 2 weeks. Even though they're going to be like, why are you bringing a fishing rod down? Nothing's open. There's no hooks on it. I think we're legal. I'm pretty sure if the M&R showed up and they saw that I was fishing with, well, this frickin' lure with no hooks, they would have zero frigs to give. Especially when I tell them that I'm just prototyping a bait. They'll probably be okay with it. But yeah, we'll just chuck this in the water, move it around a bit, whip it out, see if we feel any vibration in the rod from the action of a crank. Oh man, I wonder what that's draining off from. And why do they have it going above the sidewalk? Freaking brilliant. I don't even know how deep that is. That's pretty deep. That's how you get a soaker, boys. Okay, I see what we got to do here. We got to come over here and walk across this little land bridge. Freaking brilliant, I'm telling you. But yeah, I was thinking for my boat, I could probably launch right here. I could probably swing down there with the trailer and then turn up and then just back her right in. And then you could just tie it off to one of these docks when you bring your truck over there to park. But, okay, there should be no seaweed. They don't have the extensions on the dock out. I'm gonna go use that dock over there because that looks potentially a little bit better. The extensions for the floating docks are actually over in the parking lot right now. And they have the tie-offs for the boats. Do your part. Create the world-class bass fishing. Handle with care. Fish is hooked deeply. Cut the line. Okay. Okay. Well, we're not gonna have to worry about that because I don't think this thing's gonna have the right action. I don't even know if you guys can see this. It's trying to. I'm gonna sail it out and see how it feels when I throw it. No, it's still spiraling. That did not fix it. You know, it makes a good jerk bait though. Like a good twitch bait. Like if I throw it in the water and I twitch it, it's not a bad action. It is heavy though. Why is it side heavy? It just got hit. Didn't get eat. I just felt a bump in the, unless I hit a rock. Probably hit a rock. But it definitely sinks. It's pretty heavy still. And it doesn't crank like a crankbait should. It definitely does not crank like a crankbait should. And that wind coming off the lake, my goodness. Guys, that is some frigid. Did I just get hit again? If there was hooks on this, I would have just caught a bass. Do I have a follower? I can't tell. No, I don't. Something just smoked it over there. Like I said, I don't have to worry about catching a fish because, you know, no hooks equals no fish. I pretty much made a twitch bait. I wonder why it's doing that. Looks like if I put it in the water. All right. I don't know if you guys can see that. Like, what do you guys see? If I put it in the water and I pull it along, it's pulling weirdly, and I'm not sure why. Well, at least I know 2 of my baits work. Well, 3, theoretically. This is not one of them. All right. All right, that's good enough for me. I know that this is an epic fail, but it did feel good to get out and start throwing around a bait. But this is an epic fail. It's also really cold right now, so... Well, the water temp's got to be pretty cold, so the fish will still be lethargic. Once the weather warms up, things will get different. But it's nice to see that this bait didn't work, because I was about to say next up we're going to go to Canadian Tire and get some split rings and get that all straightened out, put some hooks on it. Kind of don't see the point if the darn thing don't work. So I'm not an Olympic jumper, so let's go back to the truck, load this thing in. Yeah, I was going to go to Canadian Tire and grab some split rings and some trebles, but kind of don't see the point. Kind of don't see the point. So it was a good test. It's always good. I like using that area for testing because it's really close to home. And it tells me where I need to fix this bait. But the problem is I don't know where I need to fix this bait. I have no idea. So back to the drawing table, I guess, for this one. And yeah, I gotta get into this truck and fix, well, not fix, but take out my ice fishing stuff. Gradually get it ready for camping time, because that'll be starting soon. Theoretically, I can start whenever the hell I want. I just got to go out and camp. I just don't feel like doing it when it's going to be -5 at night, because that's going to require a heat source, even though it's been told. Just get myself a plug-in heating blanket. Ah, well, back to the drawing board for the bait. Alrighty, we're back home. And I don't think I have anything to cut that bait off with. So I might just leave it attached because it is a failure. And I don't know if I'm going to be using this rod at all this summer. I might. It casts pretty good for, like, I think this entire setup was like, I don't even know if this setup was one that Temu sent me for free or what. It was so long ago. I think oh, right on the card. That is awesome. That's exactly where my catfishing pole should go. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. That's no bueno right there, boys. That's no bueno. Did I scratch the paint? We're fine. We're fine. The matte white looks great with all of its scuffs and scratches in it. Now, soon we'll get in the car out of the garage soon. I just don't know if the battery has a charge in it. Let's see if the buzzer turns on when I turn the key. I know, right? I just get carried away on my videos. It's like I'm meant to do, just go out and test the bait, and all of a sudden I'm gonna put the key in the ignition of the Firebird and see if we get crank, see if my battery died over the winter, because I forgot to hook up the maintainer to it. Well, we got dome light. Yeah, she'll start. She'll start. She'll start. That new battery I put in it last year, I think it was. She works. I just don't want to start it with the garage door closed and everything closed, because I know in that first start she's going to blow enough winter dust out of her arse end. And before I can back it out of here, I got to get this out of the way and just clean up around the car and make sure everything's good, and then get it the frig out. And that opens up my garage for projects and gives me the car to drive. All right, in the house we go. Also, guys, I bought some Monster Energy. I went to the corner store on my way home, grabbed the box of Monster because I kind of need it. But you know what the best part about not putting the date on the beginning of the video is? I can make multiple videos in one day. I find the really long videos, they don't get as much watch time. So making a shorter video is probably a better idea. And like I said before, if I go to Blokes, I don't have to wait until the queue. I can just upload whenever I want, and it works out better that way. So I figure I might as well finish making the video with this camera here, because like I already started it, it's just easier to edit that way. Looks like I got some work to do on that bait still. Mark II prototype. Is that the Mark II or the Mark III? That's the Mark III. Still no bueno, still needs some work. This is a bait I designed from the ground up through a program called Fusion 360. If you're into 3D printing, you probably know about it. I think it's from AutoCAD. I think they're the ones who made it. But yeah, it's called Fusion 360. It's free software, pretty complex. The learning curve on it's pretty rough, but once you figure it out, it's fine. It's like any other program. It's like Adobe Photoshop, right? Learning curve on that is kind of rough, but once you figure out layer editing and all that, you're down. You're good to go. So I figure I need to do some more refining on the bait and figure out why it's catching water and doing this versus doing this. And I'm thinking I need to take Marling Bates Fishing with Your Masterpiece course, because he defines what a lure is and he explains a lot, and I probably need that in my life. I may be investing in a lure course. Mind you, his courses are mainly based on whittling, like wooden lures, where I'm trying to go with a more futuristic approach of PLA printing them. Some of my PLA prints work though. Some of my lures come out and they function fine, they work great, and they've caught fish. Others, not so much. The Rattle Trap caught fish. My 3-hooked twitch bait or jerk bait, it caught fish. The Topwater almost caught a fish last year, but it was at the end of the season. and the fish came up and swerved on it, but he didn't quite get it in his mouth, so it didn't work out. Ah, well, whatever. Teach their own, right? Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this video here. Might be a short one, might be a long one. I have no freaking idea until I cut it up, so hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas on why the bait is reacting that way, leave it down in the comments down below, because I don't know, maybe a square bill or maybe a square bill on it is not a good idea. Maybe it should be rounded. I don't know. But back to the drawing tables and on to the next bait. Sorry, Marling, had to steal it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like button, questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. If you made it this far, comment spiraling lure. And until next time, guys, live it to win it. Peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.